association with Kumho Tyres, it's Rally Fever. Second look at the Park Systems Furniture Stages Rally, based in Newton Stewart in southwest Scotland. And first, let's look at the Peugeot Challenge. And you consider this is a rally where you've got a bit of experience, so really it swings in your favour a bit?
Yeah, but Faulkner and Jones have been up here before. Stewart's done the round of the BRC here, so it's kind of a rally where everybody has to push. I have to win, Stewart has to win. Faulkner's very quick, Tom Boderman's there behind us, so it's a matter of going out and try and push it as hard as we can.
Reflections on Epping, you lost it right in the last couple of stages. Down to tyre choice, really?
Yeah, I was very disappointed with myself there. Stewart took a chance with tyre choice and it paid out for him. And we still had 3 seconds going into the last loop. And then we did the mistake again of leaving soft tyres on the back instead of full slicks. But it all goes down to my lack of experience on tarmac. But I was very happy with my times. I was setting fastest times and competing with them. So that's behind us now. So concentrating on this one.
Are you feeling confident today?
Yeah, I am. Very happy with the car. Took it out for a spin earlier in the week, and very, very confident.
Stuart, another big rally for you after a great result on Epping.
Yeah, we're going to do the same again. We've got to win this one to keep the championship open, so we'll be pushing all the way.
Do you think you've got some strengths over Ørjan and he's got some strengths over you, or do you reckon you're pretty even Stevens?
I think we do have advantages on certain types of road when it's a little bit faster. I seem to be a bit quicker when it's a bit tighter. The ice seems to be a little bit faster, but today there's a mixture of both, so it'll be real interesting.
Should be a good fight.
Yeah, it will be. And I wouldn't discount Mike Faulkner either.
No, he's on home territory.
Yeah, so last year he went well, so we'll be keeping an eye on him as well.
Should be a good rally for us, Andrew. We're sort of on neutral ground here, and I like the Scottish stages, so I'm looking forward to this rally.
Car in good shape?
Car's 100%. She had a bit of a rebuild after Epping and that, so the car's like brand new.
At last on home territory, well, sort of home territory.
Yeah, looking forward to it. The stages round here didn't really suit me, so we're going to be giving it 100% today and see if we can get amongst them.
Haven't had to travel so far.
No, it makes a pleasant change. It's just 50 mile up the road, so it's good.
You've been well on these stages before. You've been very quick on these. Do you think you'll be mixing it with the two Welshmen there?
Well, we won on these last year, so we'll be hoping for the same, but they're both really quick guys, so it's going to be really close, but we'll be giving it everything.
Well, Tom, you missed the last round racing your Seat, but now you're back in your Peugeot.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy I'm here because this championship's well good. I'm enjoying every rally I'm doing, and it's such a shame that I missed that last rally because it was on tarmac, and I think I'd have gone well on there, but my circuit racing was instead of that, so I couldn't do nothing about it.
Didn't quite win that championship, got very close.
No. The problem with that is that there was not enough rounds, and if you did have a problem with your car, then you lost all your points, or lost a considerable amount of points, and then it was hard to get it back. So,
meanwhile, you enjoy your rallying, don't you? And you're looking for a good result here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to look for definitely a top 4, top 3, hopefully, and just keep it in the middle of the track and finish.
You're going to carry on being an all-rounder next year?
Definitely. I do not want to stop rallying. I want to try and do as much rallying as possible and hopefully get somewhere rallying.
And then a big family involvement with this championship. I hear your father's been granted the rights to run it.
So that's even better. So for my dad, I think that we'll run the championship very well. And if we decide to do more things in the future, then they'll be really good.
Will you move up out of the championship and do something else?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm going to look to do a different championship, definitely.
So there were the major contenders. Their first stage, Borgen, 4.15 miles, so quite a short stage to start with. And as you heard, Jan Rowlands can clinch this championship if he wins this rally here. And here is the young Welshman who sometimes is a sheep farmer and sometimes is a carpenter, but really wants to be a professional rally driver. So trying hard here with Kelvin Savage. And again, this rally always pretty tough up in Scotland, third time in the championship. And Ian Rowlands then in with a chance of taking the title here. But this championship likely to be won by seconds, and here's a man that is on the same pace as Ian Rowlands. Another Welshman, Stuart Jones, just a teenager, works in his father's timber business. They make a lot of hardwood flooring. Mad Mick Jones, of course, the dad, certainly has taught son well. Richard Edwards there reading the notes, bit of a cheeky chappy, and does a very good job alongside Stuart. Gareth McHale then had an up and down season, second year in this Peugeot Challenge in the 206 XSI, and here is the yellow car of Mike Faulkner and Peter Foy. Mike knowing these stages pretty well, coming from Gretna Green in the BSW Timberback car. 1:34 then is Paul Jones, bit of a late entry with Darren Garrett, his co-driver. And Paul Jones all the way from Kent. 92 is Tom Boardman. We just heard him talking, his father taking over the championship for 2005. The next one along, number 71, Steve Petch from northeast of England, son of Steve Petch Senior. And 91, that is Andy Pawley with Ian Bevan, his co-driver. Next Peugeot, and there's plenty of these. 72, and that's John Tucker with Matthew Pearce, and still they keep coming. 74 is Michael O'Brien from Northern Ireland and Simon Coates. Now we ride on board with Trevor Martin, Ray Cleghorn calling the notes here. And Trevor a little bit worried, he's a bit rusty on the loose here. Car's of course been changed from the gravel setup from Epping to the gravel setup, I should say, from the tarmac. So they head on their way, finding it a pretty busy stage. So that's the 75 car of Trevor Martin. The top boys already through the stage. Rowlands and Faulkner on the same second. There is the 76 machine of Clive Wheeler. Yes, Rowlands and Faulkner first and second, and Stuart Jones just about 5-6 seconds down on them. So it's very close at the top. Gareth McHale fourth. The 90 car then of Jonathan Sparks and the Swedish co-driver Tina Metakidu. And with his special number plate there, 138, James Robertson and Mike Rollo joining the championship. So, anticipation going into this second stage. Glen Trull, 14 miles, a classic Scottish stage. And Rowlands leading by 0.4 a second from Faulkner. Stuart Jones in third place, 6 seconds down going into this stage. Here is Rowlands, of course, with the Welsh flag on the roof of his car. His old Escort Mark II, in which he did such sterling work in the Kumo Clubman's Championship, which he won last year, of course, was completely in Welsh colours. Tricky section through these logs, very muddy here. Little Peugeot fighting for grip, front wheel drive. A lot of forestry vehicles to the side. And Rowlands pushing as hard as he can on this one. Came and did the event last year, helped him win that Clubman's Championship. Well, they're trying very hard indeed. Stuart Jones really pushing hard.
80 left, 7 down cut and long right 3. Stay for 200 over crest.
Stuart, of course, been brought up with rallying. Used to attend events just as a, well, pre-teenager with Dad. Always wanted to do this, and certainly has plenty of speed.
And long right 3, keep in.
Understand that the Motorsport Association's got a new committee looking at up-and-coming young driver talent, I should say, and I believe that both these young Welshmen are on the list they're checking out. Robert Reed involved in that initiative. Here is Mike Faulkner though, and Faulkner looking very strong in the ULR and BSW timber-backed car. Cheeky chappy then, the builder, 134, that's Paul Jones. 92, Tom Boardman goes through. Had a very good run in the SEAT Championship he was talking about earlier. But big problems, and Gareth McHale, just 3 wheels on my wagon with Clive Jenkins. The car continues to run, and just maybe he can get that to service. But you have to say that right there, any chance that Gareth McHale had of taking this championship has evaporated. So bad luck to Gareth. Young Stephen Petch then works in the parts department of one of his father's dealerships. And then 91, Andy Pawley. And we have heard that on this stage Stuart Jones has gone fastest, taking 3 seconds out of Mike Faulkner, and Rowlands dropping some 7 to Jones. And on my quick calculations, that puts Faulkner in the lead from Jones and Rowland, but all very close indeed. Mike O'Brien, the plant tire man, goes through, and we go back on George with Trevor Martin. And just passing Vauxhall Astra there, which has obviously had some problems.
40.
Fortunately didn't lose any time.
40, middle of an absolute crest bump, 150.
And just going past Stephen Petch, who I think might be changing a puncture. But here on the Peugeot 206 Super Cup, it's incredibly close at the front. In association with the Kumho tyres, it's Rally Fever, and into service now with the Peugeot 206 Super Cup boys, and lots of problems.
Can you talk and work at the same time? Just about.
Yes, Andy, how are you?
I'm fine now. You've had some problems. You were fastest on the first one. The second one, you dropped a bit of time with a slow rear puncture.
Yeah, slow rear puncture, and the front struts has gone again. So the lads are just changing that one now.
You're very much in touch with the other two at the front, though.
Yeah, we're only a second behind Stewart, so if we can sort that strut out now, hope he'll hold for the rest of the rally, and we'll just have to push hard.
Well, Mike, you're leading, but you've had a drama or two, and I see you've had a bit of a landing on the nose or something.
Yeah, well, it was just we were just trying to cut a corner. It was really boggy where all the Evos have been, and we just followed the same line, but hasn't quite got the same traction, and it didn't come out, and we just got sucked into the bog a bit, and it was really bumpy. So it only cost us a few seconds. So
you're obviously flying then, with fastest on the second one, I think.
I think Stuart took a few out of us, but we've taken some out of him, so it's really close. It's just a couple of seconds in front of Stuart, I think. So it's all to play for.
Well, Paul's just spending a bit of extra money with 2 new rear shock absorbers. Is the car handling a bit nervously?
Yeah, over the fast jumps and that, it's we damaged the rear shock absorber. We've cracked the front wheel as well, but it's overall the crest has been landing really sideways, and it's a bit frightening in 5th and 6th gear. So I didn't really know. I assumed that I had a puncture on the way through, but it wasn't until I got to the engine station and I realised the rear shock was broken. So
Stuart, same story, battling with Owen and Mike Faulkner in there as well.
Yeah, so it's good. Didn't quite get the flow I wanted to in there, so we haven't been quite as quick as we hoped to be, but plenty more stages left yet.
Yeah, that Glen Trawl's quite a stage, isn't it?
Yeah, and it'll be longer this afternoon, so a little bit of knowledge I've been through this morning should help.
Well, from what I can gather, the wheel just fell off.
Yeah, it looks like that. It's sort of maybe a bit of metal fatigue or something like that in the wheel. It just actually sheared off on a tight left-hand bend. So unfortunately, that's our championship hope's gone now.
Yeah, out of the window just at that moment. You had to crawl it out of the stage, and it's a long way.
Yeah, it was a 14-mile stage, Andrew, and we stopped because I didn't know what happened, so I had to survey it, and decided to continue on, and we dropped about 20 minutes. So I don't know where we're lying out at the minute, but I think we will continue on, just get a bit more experience in that. So. But it's a shame.
Yes, indeed. Well, Gareth was unfortunately unable to continue that huge battle at the front with Faulkner, Jones, Rowlands, the other Jones, and even Jonathan Tucker all in the battle. So Ian Rowlands really needs to push hard here, try and regain the lead. Little Peugeot 1600 engine really straining. Rowlands then with Kelvin Savage. They've been together all this season, and just what Rowlands needed to have a regular co-driver help him settle down and really get to trust those notes. Notes for these rallies, of course, provided by the organisers, made by Brian Patterson, and the drivers haven't been over these stages to check those notes on this rally, so they're trusting the Patterson notes, and certainly Brian does an outstanding job with them.
Into left 4 in. 100. Right 2 over crest, jump 100. Small crest, caution, right 4 and turn left 9 opens.
See the rev limiter light coming on there on the dashboard.
Left 9 opens.
Here is Mike Faulkner then, and a bit of damage to the front number plate, leading going into this stage. That's 2 stages in out of the 7, so quite a long way to go. Peter Foy, his co-driver, very experienced man, been co-driving for well over a decade.
And left 7 plus.
Through the
Right
logging area.
Forward 60, right 7 minus in.
Remember that all these rally drivers paying quite a lot of money to the Forest Enterprise for the use of these stages via the organisers. We don't rally in these roads for free, far from it. '92 then, Tom Boardman, the all-rounder, comes from near Preston in Lancashire. 72 car going through, and then the 91, which is Andy Pawley. 72, of course, John Tucker, who's having a very good rally One of John's best, Mike O'Brien. And then 75, Trevor Martin, as we go back on board with him through the logging area.
60, 5 right, 40, 1 left into 4 right.
Trevor
into
lying
6
in about
left.
6th place in the Peugeot
Go right into
Super
6
Cup
left,
category.
and Keir 2 left over small crest and hairpin right. 2 left over small crest and hairpin right.
Everyone on the same Kumo tyre. It's part of the championship regulations. So, at the end of the first 4 stages, it's now Stuart Jones in the lead by half a second from Johan Rowlands, and Mike Faulkner is in 3rd place, having lost some time on special stage 4. So, moving on then to Black Lock. There is a lock at the top of that stage. So what a battle we have on our hands. Jones and Rowlands, the 2 Welshmen, separated by only half a second. And Mike Faulkner in 3rd place. He's dropped some 30 seconds behind them. But it could all happen on this one. Johan Rowlands then. If he can take the lead and win this rally, he will be the Peugeot 206 Super Cup champion for 2004. If not, well, it'll all go to the Bulldog Rally. It's going to go to the Bulldog Rally. Look, a puncture, a front wheel puncture for Rowlands. And Johan Rowlands has got a long way to go in this stage still. And he's going to drop a lot of time. Ah, dearie me. So here is Stuart Jones. This is his chance to pounce. Go on board now with Stuart Jones and Richard Edwards. And the car on the side there. And Jones has stopped. I think Jones has stopped. And this man, Mike Faulkner, it's all going his way. The rain coming down now. Mechanical problem for Jones. And Faulkner will surely retake the lead that he held at the end of special stage 2. So Mike Faulkner, who's been rallying in these Peugeot championships for a long time, very much the senior citizen in this championship, is giving the boys a great run for their money. Both the Welshmen in trouble. 134. Paul Jones will move up. So Paul Jones surely will move up into the top 3. Those new shock absorbers obviously helping the stability of the car. And he's in a big battle with John Tucker, incidentally, only seconds separating Jones and Tucker. And here is Tucker with Matthew Pearce, his co-driver. Has his own website, as you can see from the front of the car, the Clive White Motorsport prepared Peugeot. And the best of the Peugeots now running inside the top 20. Here's 91 Andy Pauly, actually currently in 23rd place overall. And just about 10 seconds behind the Jones and Wheeler battle. So there is Mike O'Brien. News coming through that Rowlands' puncture dropped him a minute and a half over Mike Faulkner. So certainly Faulkner will come out of this stage in the lead of the championship. But, well, who will be second? Number 76 then, Trevor Martin. There he is in the grey Peugeot, silver if you will. Do you a nice roof if you ask him. Trevor is in the roofing business. This is Clive Wheeler in the Skip Brown prepared car, and also backing from Albany Homes. And Skip's Brown cars have been preparing rally and racing machines for over 30 years. Number 90 then, Jonathan Sparks. The Avalon Tyre Services back machine. And here's the Scotsman, and we don't see that regularly in this championship. He is registered though, James Robertson and Mike Rollo. association with Kumho Tyres. It's Rally Fever, a tremendous battle going on in this Peugeot 206 Super Cup.
Oh, and it's all happening.
Too much, I think. We had the puncture on the last stage there now. We're pushing hard. Halfway through before then. We carried on. We didn't stop and change, so we carried on. Lost lots of time, but we would have lost more time if we had stopped. The other thing, we've hit a rock and it's damaged the fuel pump.
Have we got it here? Let's just have a look at it.
The top must have had the real skagging, so we're just fitting a new fuel pump.
Never seen that happen before.
No, me neither, no. But Kelvin's evaluating the times things now, so we see where we are. And there's 2 more stages to go. So, pretty long ones, 18 and a 4 miler, I think.
If you're leading the Peugeots by over a minute.
I know, it's spoilt the afternoon a little bit. I mean, we didn't have a very good run when we came out of service. We had dropped a few seconds and the car jumped out of gear and just had a little half spin. And then we were trying really hard in the next one, and somebody taking the arrows down, and there was no tape on the road, and we missed the junction, and we ended up going down the road, having turned round, so we dropped nearly 30 seconds.
You weren't the only one either, by the way.
All right, yeah, it did look that way because we just followed all the marks, so which was a bit disappointed, and we were pretty gutted at the end of that. And then we went to the next one, trying really, really hard to try and make the time up, and then we passed Stewart, and then obviously Jan had his problems at the end. But,
yes, so it is Faulkner leads into the last 2 stages. And indeed, up in second place now, John Tucker going into Drum John. 19 miles, another tough, rough stage up here in southwest Scotland. The Newton Stewart based event. Go on board then with Mike Faulkner. Looking for his first win of the season in these Peugeots. We understand that John Boardman has some big plans for this championship for next year, some generous prize funding. So hopefully the Peugeot Championship will continue as this outstanding one-make championship that it's been for all these 15 or 17 years. And there goes the number plate of the number 50 car of Mike Faulkner. Diane Rowlands then got a lot of time to make up, came into this stage despite dropping that minute and a half in 4th place, having of course led at the beginning, and Rowlands having a massive moment there and just collecting it up, and Rowlands is really pushing hard. Chance of clinching this championship has gone now at this round. It's all going to go to the Bulldog Rally based in Shrewsbury in a week's time. So this has been an absolutely classic year of Peugeot rallying, with the 2 Welshmen fighting at the front. McHale also there. Faulkner, of course, always a thorn in their sides, but this is looking good for Faulkner. John Tucker then moved up to 2nd place at the end of special stage 5. Consistent run through the stages, and that's looking like his best result of the whole season. And from the southwest of England. And the Ken Bartram co-driven Clive Wheeler car going through. Trevor Martin then will try and get up into the top 5. And Stuart Jones definitely out with a mechanical problem. Here's somebody with a bit of a mechanical problem as well. Maybe it's just the exhaust that's fallen off the Mike O'Brien car. A1 BUT for Robertson there. Of course, there's a Peugeot 205 challenge up in Scotland. Second of the red cars, the old group of Yeovil back machine of Jonathan Sparks. Many of these Peugeots do have Peugeot dealers assisting them in different ways. Well, Rowland's fastest on the final two stages, but it's Mike Faulkner who hangs on to the lead and comes home the victor, as he did a year ago up in Scotland, and sprays the champagne. Faulkner the winner from Ian Rowlands, blasting through to second place, John Tucker third, Wheeler fourth, and then Trevor Martin in fifth place. There you see the whole top 10. So an eventful rally, seeing many changes of lead. Big disappointment for Stuart Jones, but when you count the drop scores, he's equal with Ian Rowlands at the top of the charts, but Hale and then Faulkner, and it's all going to go to the Bulldog Rally.
Mike, you're the veteran of this series and your first win of the year, but a great result for you.
Yeah, it's about time. We've been trying really hard this year and it just never seems to come together, so that's a just reward for all our efforts this year and all the efforts the guys have put in. So.
And you did it despite some problems?
Yes, I know, we thought we'd thrown it all away. We were gutted after 4 with the problems, and but it all came to us in the end.
We've had an awful day, really. We tried our hardest through the last 2 now. We pulled half of it back, I think, but it wasn't enough. It was a bit too much to ask. It was 1 minute 9, I think. I just drove my hardest for the last stage there. It was a really nice stage, but that's how it goes. I'm a bit disappointed.
You got your phone going. Oh, there it is, right. Now, what's this do for the championship now? Because obviously Stuart Jones didn't score any points. It must put you in a very strong position.
Well, it just goes down to the Bulldog. Stewarts needs to win the Bulldog. If he doesn't win it, it's mine. So I have to go out there and win the Bulldog, stop him from doing it.
Third in the Peugeot Cup, your best result?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Come fourth on the Maxi, yeah.
Tell us all about your rally then.
We're pushing quite hard this morning to try and keep up with the sort of top 3 or 4, which we did that all day. And then going into the last stage there, one of the guys in front of us had gone off, so we backed off. And
no problems on this rough and tough rally?
No, I'm surprised because it's been very rough. We've been bouncing around all over the place.
So you must be happy with that, celebrating tonight?
Oh, yes.
And after the break, we're back with the story of the Kumo Clubman's Championship. In association with Kumo Tyres, it's Rally Fever back at the Park Rally, but now we're going to look at the Clubman section and drivers coming from far and wide, including George Collister. He's talking to Rob Hughes.
George, exciting times, third on the leaderboard at the moment, but effectively second, 10 points behind Mr. Piercy. There's got to be a tactic of flat out today.
Yeah, you're right. As fast as we can go and still try and get to the end and get some points on the board. We've still got to get the points, but it's got to be there in the top 5. Really does have to be today.
How is the old beast?
Good. We did the Manx Trophy Rally 4 weeks ago. Been re-prepped and she's ready to go. Very, very happy with it at the moment.
It's up in the league at the moment. Obviously one drop score to go, which takes it down, I think, to 4th.
Yes.
Important event today.
Aye, yes, aye, but it's just go and enjoy it. That's what you do with all events. Just go and enjoy it. Forget about everything else. That's the be all and end all.
You got your disco trousers on. You're going to be dancing around those stages.
Good stages, a bit rough in bits. So I think the secret of the day is don't get punctures. So but we've opted for a taller tyre on the back, which also obviously lowers the ratio or increases the ratio, so you've got less acceleration. But punctures, I think, is going to be the thing today. Don't cut the corners, things like that.
Tim, quite a critical rally today.
Yeah, for sure. We've got to score some points here. 4th, 5th will do. A bit better ideally, but we can't not score.
What do you think of the Scottish stages?
We've watched the DVD. They look rough in parts, they look very fast in parts, and quite scary actually. But we've never been here before, so I think caution is probably the word.
Caution's the word. It was raining like anything yesterday, but it's sunny today. How do you think that's going to play out?
I think it'll be slippery. We're hoping for rain because we genuinely don't have a lot of power today. So the more rain, the better. If it's dry, then I think we'll struggle. But we'll see. It's Scotland.
Andy, looking forward to today's stages?
I am, yes. We were here last year. We didn't have a bad result last year. We had a few punches. That's what we were a little worried about today. So I don't know what the plan is about that. It's just luck, really, I guess.
Do you like these stages now? Because the conditions should be quite tricky today.
Yes, they were last year. It's just similar sort of weather. It's going to be very, very slippery on the top of the surface. It's just a case of just keeping the car pointing in the right direction, I think.
So special stage 1 in the Clubman section of the rally. Borgen, 4.15 miles. Kumo Clubman's competitors running alongside the Scottish Championship contenders, which include the likes of Gary Adam, Andy Horn. Some of the Scottish Championship contenders doing the full rally and some not, just to complicate matters. So this is Tim Pearcey and Mick Johnson in the Escort Mark II. He'll certainly be matching his time against this man, Alistair Adams, in the number 65 car, and they'll all be very keen to see what sort of times they do against the man who's best known in the Mark II, Steve Bannister, who's running in the Scottish section. There's James Potter, the big man himself, and here is Andy Gwynn from the Cheltenham area, and he certainly can make that Corsa kit car fly. Runs his own rally school. Another of our regular Escort Mark IIs, the 67 car there of Peter Rayner from Yorkshire, Richard Bonner, his co-driver. And then the Scotsman we talked to a little while ago, Alan McDowell, is having a very consistent run in the championship this year. Another Mark II, that's the 79 car of George Collister and Rob Fagg, coming all the way from the Isle of Man there, very quick. Spitting out flames is the 89 Steve Magson car, rear-wheel drive Astro Course with that V6 power. And here is a very sad story indeed. Limping out the stage, number 99. And, well, James Wozencroft's season started so well, but not so good now. Here's Ian Sherlaw with the Euro Rally back car. Ian fighting a battle in the K2 category with this man, Dave Beasley, in the Vauxhall Corsa. And that battle's been continuing all season. Another Corsa there, number 104. And that is John Brooks. He's in the lower category in the K1. And there's 106 Stephen Shenton, with Claire Shenton aboard in the 106 in the K2 category. And Winston Clark all the way from South London in his Escort RS2000. Yet another Corsa. This is 113, and that's Bob Marshall and Richard Haig. And then we've even got a Skoda there, Anthony Jackson in the Felicia.
James, we saw you cruise past us. It looks seriously bad news.
Well, originally we thought it was engine, but it's actually gearbox. We've broken the crown wheel and pinion, so put a hole in the gearbox sump pan.
And it's not just this event either, it's bad news all round.
Well, it is. We were hoping to be after this weekend to win the championship. So it's not looking so good at all now. We need 5 rounds to finish in the championship, and unfortunately that means we've only finished 4.
Bulldog?
Bulldog, we're going to do the Bulldog. Yeah, we'll get back out there and see how well we can do in the class, but it's not going to be any good for the championship.
Yes, a blow for Wozencroft, who of course done so well in the Silklene 1400 Championship. He was of course talking about his class, and maybe he can still win it at the Bulldog. Let's wait and see. Long way to go yet. Move on to Glenn Trull and Andy Gwynn, fastest amongst the Kumo Clubmen on the first stage. And Collister looking quick, Piercy looking good. So the characteristic noise of this Mark II Escort. Tim Piercy chucking it sideways. Johnson, his co-driver. Alistair Adams then, been a major player in this series for the last couple of years or so. James Potter will look for a good result in the King of Shaves back machine. And Andy Gwynn, as we said, leading Kumho Clubman's going into this stage. Got a lot of smoke coming out the back of that car. Peter Rayner it is, who is next up in the Tamdown back machine. And Alan McDowell looking quick here. Opel Cadets, old technology, but it certainly works well. And then Collister from the Isle of Man looking very good. Magson next. Trouble is with this machine that it really does punish the tyres. Magson from Pickering, very much Yorkshire Rally territory. And at service, James Potter has something to laugh about.
First stage was really tight and aggy. Didn't like it at all. Last stage was really good. We dropped a bit of time. We caught there's a Peugeot with 3 wheels on it, so we dropped maybe 10-12 seconds behind that. Second gear's giving me a bit of grief, so I'll need to nurse that, but no, really enjoyed it. Good stage.
Tim, a steady start and a flyer on stage 2. How are you feeling?
Yeah, fairly confident now. We weren't that confident at the start of the day. We weren't quite steady on the first one. Second one a lot quicker, seemed to suit us more. We had quite a good go through there. No nasty moments, bit of a hard landing on a jump. But other than that, going well.
Welcome back, moving on to special stage 4 out of the 5. It is George Collister who leads and has about 25 seconds over Piercy, and McDowell very close behind Piercy, just 4 seconds separating them as they go into Barney Water. James Potter in 4th place, Steve Magson 5th. So here is James Potter, currently in 4th place. Very nice Escort. Important, enjoy, it says on the back of his car. Indeed, yes. So Tim Piercy then, still battling to get maximum points here against young Collister from the Isle of Man. McDowell separated by just the odd second from Piercy. Well, that car sounds well, doesn't it? And then Peter Rayner currently lying in 7th place. Andy Gwynn losing a lot of time, is way down in 11th, but has been setting some searing stage times, fastest Kumho Clubman's on several of the stages, but just having that one bad stage. And here is Collister, who is really flying. I'm impressed by this young man. He's come out of the Isle of Man to compete in the Kumho Clubman's Championship, and certainly has made his mark this year. Man to watch. There is Magson in 5th place. So let's move on and see now what will happen on this final stage for the Clubman's boys. Incidentally, Andy Horn battling at the overall lead of the Clubman's rally with Gary Adam and John Morrison in 3rd place, but we're concentrating on the Clubman, and here is Potter still trying hard. The man from Kent must be about 6'6". McDowell then looking for a good result on home turf here. And the stage is quite dusty, as you can see. Now we've just got Tom Boardman from the Peugeots being caught, no doubt, and being caught by Tim Piercy, co-driver Mick Johnson. Peter Rayner then kicking the tail out, but not able to keep up with some of the other Escorts. And Collister actually lying in 10th place overall behind the 9 Scottish contenders. Some backing from Duke Video for this rally. So Peter Duke putting his hand in his pocket. There is that awesome Opel once again. And here is Andy Gwynn. He's going to be very disappointed. Making that little kit car fly and still in with a chance of the title, of course, but spending a long time stopped on the stage. So let's get to the finish then. And the champagne sprays, it is indeed Collister who takes it. Collister then from McDowell. Potter moves up to 3rd, just ahead of Piercy, Magson, Rayner. Beasley wins his class. McGuinness, Shenton and Winston Clark. And pointing out that Brian McGuinness won his class in the Vauxhall Nova in the K1 category. That leaves the championship looking like this. The Scotsman Alan McDowell, consistent all through the season, has 94. Piercy has 88. Collister is challenging with 84 and Magson 76. Potter with 68. And it's all going to go to that Bulldog Rally.
George, you said at the beginning you were going to give it in big style and you did. A convincing victory. How does it feel?
Bloody brilliant. We went for it from the first stage and we were second after the first stage by 6 seconds. Andy had a problem on the second stage and we've led from then to the end of the event. Absolutely marvellous.
What about punctures? Everyone else seemed to be getting punctures left, right and centre.
Well, we were going to be coming here on second-hand tyres, but thanks to Duke Video we got ourselves a new set of tyres at the start of the event and they've worked absolutely brilliant.
Excellent. So, what now? You're snapping at the heels of Mr. Piercy at the leaderboard now, aren't you?
We don't really know where we're standing at the moment. We're definitely in second place. It's all going to the Bulldog.
Alan, local boy comes good. Fantastic result for you.
Aye, we're pretty chuffed. Aye, we've had a few moments today. We've been pushing really hard. Dropped a bit of time in the second stage, catching a couple of cars. In the last stage we got a puncture, so we dropped a bit of time, but no, it's good. Well chuffed, like.
What about this Mr. Collister? He's a bit threatening at the moment, isn't he?
Aye, he's certainly found a new lease of life. Aye. Yeah, it's been close.
What about the punctures? You were concerned about those earlier on.
Aye, well, we just got the one towards the end of the last stage, so we dropped maybe 12 seconds, something like that on it. But it was getting a bit interesting towards the end. The car was really sliding wide. But because of his times, I couldn't afford to back off. It was good.
James, a good result, and you avoided punctures.
Yes, yeah. Luckily this year, not one. 4 2 years ago, 2 last year, and hit the jackpot this year.
Much needed points on the board as well.
Yes, I hope so. So where it leaves me overall in the championship, I have to wait and see, but it'll certainly help bolster my chances.
Tim, not a happy chappy at the moment?
We've had a few problems on stage 4. There wasn't any arrowing or tape on a junction and we went straight on. Went about 400 yards the wrong way. Saw quite a few marks where other cars had done the same thing. So we turned it round, had to retrace our steps very slowly and join the main route again. So we dropped about 2 minutes in all, got to the end and they radioed and told all the other cars behind us that there was a problem. So subsequently nobody else has done it, but it's put us down to 5th in class from what should have been 3rd.
And points wise that's crucial at the moment.
Yeah, I mean it's the difference, it's only 2 or 3 points. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I think that's all it will be decided by at the end of the year, and maybe we need those 2 or 3 now.
Now Andy, you've been flying but you've had ups and downs on this one, haven't you?
Yeah, misfire on stage 2 and unfortunately I dropped it in a ditch on stage 5 for a few minutes, so that put paid to our reasonable result today really.
How many fastest times?
3 out of 5, but unfortunately I don't work the results on who went fastest on the most stages really.
And that means championship's over for you, does it?
No, I think it is just about. I mean, I think it's got to be pretty fluky for us to win with people sort of like not scoring on the next round. But I haven't looked at it properly, but it may well be out of reach.
Yes, so disappointed Andy Gwynn there, dropping it on his side as he said, but some excellent rallying up in Scotland. We're going to be bringing you in 2 weeks' time an update on the Scottish Rally Championship. But for Caroline Samuels, for Rob Hughes, I'm Andrew Marion. See you next time.